a way of affirming ourselves. I am that I am. 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 Wherever you go, I'll be there. Whatever you do, I'll be there. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Whatever you do, I'm gonna be right there. Wherever you go, I'll be there. Whatever you do, I'm gonna be right there. Wherever you go, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm gonna be right there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm gonna be right there. I'll be there. I'll be there. Gonna be right there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm gonna be right there. I am that I am. 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 I am that I am that I am that I am. I am that I am that I am. 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 I am. I am that 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 I am.
Ashe. That was beautiful, Baba Jeff.
Ashe.
Okay. Destiny Muhammad. I'm sorry. Yes. Every time I hear her, I remember being in Wose, Oakland, and hearing it in person, and just feeling the beautiful vibrations of her harp and listening to her beautiful voice. Thank you, Baba Jeff. It just takes me back.
Ashe. I was
So
there too. I was there right there with you.
yeah, it was so beautiful. Like, it was stunning. You don't hear a harpist every day. So when you do, and they're on point like she is, it's just a beautiful thing.
Harpist
So
from the
welcome.
hood.
Yes. Yes. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. So everyone, hello everyone. Habarakila Mtu, Habariza Asabuhi, Karibu, Karibu, Karibu. Hello everyone. Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wose. Wose is a community of the way. The way is Ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness. We believe the teachings of our elders and our ancestors that the Creator God created the universe and all life and has placed in each of us a part of the divine spirit. God living in us and through us has given us the right and the power to establish peace and justice in all human life and true harmony with all of creation. We believe in the living faith of our ancestors. Our way is not merely ritual or belief. Our way is a way of life. Our way is not a random path. Our way begins with coherent understanding. It is a way that aims at preserving knowledge of who we are. It is with this conviction that we study the rich heritage of African people. The way is reciprocity and wholeness, self-determination, creativity, collective work, and responsibility. Our way is faith, purpose, and cooperative economics. Our way knows no oppression. Our way creates. Our way worships and praises the God of our ancestors. The way is life and only destroys destruction. Welcome to Wose Community Church of the Sacred African Way. So I am your host, Minister Alicia Teasley, and today we're going to have a wonderful service, and I'm so thankful for you all to be here. Now moving on, we are going to receive Watoto, Wengu, and Zuri, my beautiful children who are coming to do the affirmation. And then after them, which is going to be Kobe and Olanyo, and after them, we're going to listen to a song by the To Be New Cultural Gatherers. Oh, I love when they come to sing. So right now we're at the affirmation with the Teasley Youth. Take it away.
We will know God's truth to be free and self-determined.
Creator, help us to remember the humanity, glory, and suffering of our ancestors and to honor the struggles of our elders.
Let us strive to bring new vision and life to our people. Let there be peace and harmony among us.
Let us be loving, sharing, and creative. Let us work, study, and listen so we may learn, teach, and cultivate self-reliance.
Grant us power, O Holy One, as we struggle to resurrect our hearts and our homeland.
We will raise our children according to the needs of our nation, with discipline, patience, devotion, and courage. We will strive to be the living models of the new direction of our people.
We are an African people.
We are children.
Ashe. To Be New Cultural Gatherers.
A big hand for our youth. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Brian B. Bowling.
And I am Zakia G.E. Capehart Bowling. And we are the To Be New Cultural Gatherers.
It's very appropriate that we follow the theme that we had our lovely children read the affirmation today. And it's ironic because our program for the day is dedicated to children, our children and our grandchildren. I would like to first present a original song that I wrote called Children Are the Light of the World.
And my poem is entitled Our Children.
They sound very low to me. Is that true for anyone else?
Yes, could be higher.
Yes.
Could be.
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
No.
But we don't want to miss any of it. So rev it up, Bubba. We don't want to miss any part.
Okay, you know, we've been having some technical issues with our equipment here. And can you hear me better now?
That's somewhat better.
Somewhat better?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right, let's try it. Hopefully this will work, okay?
Blessings.
Okay, I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more here. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, testing 1. Okay. All right. Thank you for that comment about the sound. I'm so glad you caught it before we started. Again, this is a song I wrote called Children Are the Light of the World.
My poem is entitled Our Children, and I just want to check again. Is this a little better? Is this better? Can you hear us clearly?
A little better.
Yes.
Just a little.
Yes, that's better.
Let's turn
It's better now. Go ahead.
Baby is crying 'cause mommy's not at home. Some are even dying before they have a chance to grow. Let's join throughout the land to save their little souls, 'cause children are the light of the world.
Yes.
Some cookies and candy was all she ate last night. Baby's feeling lonely 'cause Ma and Daddy had a fight. Let's join throughout the land to make things right, 'cause children are the light of the world. Teach our children love and understanding. Give them every chance in the world. 'Cause some parents are neglecting their babies. Let's protect every boy and girl. Baby is crying 'cause mommy's not at home. Some are even dying before they have a chance to grow. Let's join throughout the land to save their little souls, 'cause children are the light of the world.
Chop, chop, chop. Doom, doom, doom. Chong, chong, chong. Boom, boom, boom. Our children hear the sounds of a new beginning. Our children are the catalyst, moving us from our present world to that horizon. Distractions are necessary for the emergence of the dawn. Our children are equipped to confront and handle the world they are changing. We have taught them well. Elders hold the power, possess the strength, shape and mold the minds of our children. Elders are love-nourishing role models today for tomorrow's leaders. Our children. Tapa, tapa, tapa. Doom, doom, doom. Chong, chong, chong. Boom, boom, boom. Children are the light of the world. Children are the light of the
Ashe, Aseo.
Great.
Aseo.
Yeah, so
Wonderful,
much
Mark.
message. Fluent.
That was
So
that was
Absolutely.
beautiful. That was so beautiful to be new cultural gatherers. It's always a beautiful blessing to receive your music and your poetry. So we want to give thanks to you to be new cultural gatherers, and also thanks to our Teasley youth, Kobiatsu and Lalanyo Thandewe. All right, so we're going to move on. We're going to have a special presentation by Mama Akanke. And then after this presentation, we're going to have a wonderful historical tribute by Brother Damani. So first up is Mama Akanke with the special presentation.
Greetings, greetings, Well Say family. It's good to see everybody. The service is like got my heart. So it's good to see everyone. So this morning I have the honor, and the joy of saying to the community, Furaha Yakuzi Za Liwa, to my eldest brother, Minister Makalisi. Who?
Ashe.
Yes, I see you. Where's that smile? Where's that smile? So just to tell you guys, on his birthday is April 29th, that he was in Minister in Training. Bill, if you can bring up that first picture, gonna give you a little picture presentation of his life in the family. He was the first child born to our mother, Margaret Roselia Dixon. As he, Makalisi, how do you say her name? I can't say it like you say it.
Me mom's name?
Mrazia.
Mrazia.
Hold up for a sec, Bill. And so he was the first child born to a young mother. And so I know how it is being a young mother. My mother and I were the same age when we had our first child. And so Minister Makalisi, being the firstborn, was truly a gift of God to my mother, because he was really, really that child that was a blessing to her. So as we go along in his life, I have a few pictures to show you, because we see him at its service all the time, and so we know how he is at Wose. He's there for everything for us. He's there. He'll pick up a broom, a mop. He'll wax some floors. He'll teach a class. He gives the word. He gives you guidance, prayer. So all that. Yes. But I had him as a big brother, and so I'm going to show you a few pictures that I had in my archive that we have as family archive. And so Minister in Training Bill is just gonna, so this is, you see him right there in those trousers. I think they called them trousers then. Got his suspenders on as a little boy. So here's another, next one. And so this is almost our entire family, minus one, Randy, but that's Makalisi there in the background, the big brother. My mother, father, and everyone except for Randy. That's 6 children out of 7. Randy wasn't here yet. So, okay. Now look at that. Isn't he just like that today? Isn't he just like that today? He was ready already. Yes. So,
ready for the message right there.
Right. He's ready to, he's standing in Mott right there. I love this picture. So here we go. Now, that's his beautiful wife. To the right, his son in the middle, and his sister-in-law. I hope Mary, my sister-in-law, doesn't get me for putting her picture on the screen, but I love this picture so much, showing you the queen that he chose. and his son at a young age. This is all of us now. And Makalisi is holding the baby. See, he's just a big brother. He's holding the baby. My mother's standing behind him like he always got me. And so that's the whole family, mother, father, was 5 boys and 2 girls. I just love these black and white photos. They're just time that just captures the time. So, and then, so this is him, and I don't know his age, but he's so handsome, huh? Look at him. Yes. Not quite sure, like I said, of his age, but I remember him then. Okay. And so graduating from high school, 1960, ready for the next phase of his life.
Which high school?
Castlemont.
Okay.
Castlemont High School. Now, as I was coming up, and anytime my parents had to go anywhere or whatever, they always left Makalisi in charge. And he was a great, great big brother. Uh-oh. And my mother could always, and father could always depend on him. And that's a blessing. So then we have next. There he is graduating from college, Cal State Hayward, where he undertook, I think it was journalism, if I'm not correct, Makalisa, you can jump in. But so he's ready for the world. There he is with his beautiful, beautiful wife, Mary. Yeah, Makalisa and Mary have been married, what, almost 50 years, if not 50?
September 12th, 60 years.
60?
Oh. 60, yes.
See? That just, you know, that's always been a blessing to us. And to have Makalisi and Mary, because they've always been there for us and whatever we need in our lives, for guidance, the example of that love that husband and wife have, because Makalisi still makes Mary giggle. So that's a wonderful thing. So this is Makalisi with his son, Dean, in the middle, and our brother, the next in line, Lawrence, brother Lawrence, who used to attend Wosay, Sacramento. And this is one day we were trying to get together to take a picture for my mother's retirement, which you'll see the actual picture somewhere along the line in here. It didn't work out that day because I think we may have, I'm not sure what happened. One sibling may not have made it, Norman, who was not here. But this is, we're a close family, siblings, we're very close. And so that's why I showed these pictures. I don't just have pictures of Minister Makalisi, because we were just together. So this is us there. And there's the actual picture that my mother received when she retired. Minister Makalisi was inspirational in this, in terms of he was always the one that was financially secure. Always. Again, that big brother, we're thankful for him, and he helped us do this. This is him with all his sibs. And one day after service, you know, we used to grub. Oh, there we go. One day after service, we used to grub after service. Caught him one day. So next one. Now, this, I knew that would bring a smile to his face. This is a picture of my mother, father, Makalisi, and Mary. Now, let me tell you guys, they played bid whist religiously every Friday night, religiously for hours. And I have a notebook that is filled, because they kept score, that is filled with all their games. You know, they kept tabs. And so that's them. I must say that my father and Makalisi, they used to whoop up on Mary and my mother. But they had a wonderful time, and that's how I became such a good bid whist player. I used to watch them a lot, sit in on their games. But this is a treasure, because I'm telling you, I don't know, it was years, the notebook that I have at least recorded 10 years of their scores. So I had to put that one in there. Look at Makalisi's face, look like, I got him on this hand. But anyway, now, and we all know Minister Makalisi plays the recorder. He doesn't just play for Wose. He plays for us as a family too. And there's my mother on the piano. And so this is just one of our family gatherings. And there's Randy sitting back, who you know is a master on the piano. So that one. And then this is the essence of his spirit to me. Lifting up the Ankh, lifting up life as an African man with his people. And so I chose this because it just, it represents him so much as a man, as a family man, as a community man. And so just briefly, as his man, our siblings, we were talking. And so they each gave me just a little something to say in reference, in honoring Makalisi's birthday. One said that he's a great educator and a great role model. One said, my brother, he is all that. One said he's strong and steady and a steady leader of the family, and that whatever he says he's going to do, he always does. And so I just want to say again to my big brother, Faraha Kuzaliwa, I hope your day was fabulous. And so we as a community wish you many more. I know this is 79 for you. And so I'd like to bring Brother Katabazi, who has a special presentation for you.
Ashe, indeed. That was a wonderful bit of reminiscing from Sister Kanke on Minister Makalisi. And when I think about Minister Makalisi, I was, and for this poem that I crafted, I was led to the words of Dr. Chancellor Williams. And Dr. Chancellor Williams, who wrote the masterful book, The Destruction of Black Civilization, one of our sacred books here at the Wose community, is an ancestor that deserves a lot of credit, a lot more credit than probably that he gets today. But we cherish his work. And in his book, The Destruction of Black Civilizations, he spent over 20 years compiling the history through primary research himself. And he traces the history from 45 BC to 2000. And he tells our story over that breadth of time with our emergency as a people, the building of kingdoms, all through the great kingdoms of Sanye and Ghana, and of course the classical African history of Kemet up into the 60s. And at the end of that, of chronicling that information, he synthesized it and he left behind information and guidance. He left the 10-point master plan of how to knit ourselves back together, how to organize ourselves and return to the great people that he knew we once were, because he did the work, he did the studies. And he shared with us strategies and ideas into how to get started. And in those final chapters, he called for a universal Black movement. It's in the last part of the book. I think it's the shape of things to come, the master plan. And in the subtopic of that chapter, he talked about how to begin and by whom. And he says that like every movement will be initiated by just one individual. No great gathering of crowds starts a movement. Quite the contrary. When the many assemble, it is because someone has already begun. One person has already thought matters through and resolved that a beginning must be made. He should not be the usual leader whose fiery denunciation of wrongs against Blacks may be counted on to stir emotions, and that is all. The one person needed is simply one who is dedicated with a sense of mission for his race, seeking nothing but the opportunity to serve. And so that one person concept produced these words that make up this poem with a tribute to Minister Makalisi. Dr. Chancellor Williams spoke of the one person to start a universal Black movement out of reason, not filled with fiery denunciations alone of the wrongs against Blacks, but dedicated to the cause of Black people without lacks. Such a one has come dedicated, fit for the season, starting a universal Black movement called the Wose community, teaching my art, the foundation of our spirituality, asking only to learn and serve, listening and giving without reserve. The one person free from hate, deceit, and brutality, growing and assisting others in their growth, following the footsteps of the ancestors as an oath, praising and holding up my art as the way, preparing followers to come forward by day, sheltered by the ancestors and following their path. That one person with courage of the moment to seek justice and stop the torment, gathered seekers as spiritual validation, trotting onward and upward in this dispensation, mindful of the pending commencement. With a steady hand and clean heart, singing songs of praise from the start, without fear of apprehension, truth and justice lowers the tension, piercing darkness like a flaming dart. Wose began with two, but the one person remains, steadfast and determined to erase the stains from captured mind and diminished vibes, stumbling through darkness with lower vibes, dragging the claim and weight of chains. The one person's voice is now a chorus, striving to save others like Morbius. The one person is Makalisi Oso Siwande, a good and faithful one, we say, steady and true, without porous.
Happy
birthday, Mr. Makalisi.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Indeed.
Ashe,
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Thank
Ooh. Birthday greetings, Brother Makalasi.
Well, I appreciate, oh my goodness, what do I say? My sister Akonke showing off those secret things. Brother Kadabazi with your poetic power, just praise and thanks for that. And just all the community, those of you who responded to, I think it's Minister Imhotep sent out a message to tell you to come to greet me and for my birthday, and so many of you did. And this, I thank you. And I'm still learning. You know, it's just that, you know, when I graduated, we're taking up so much time. When I graduated from high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea whatsoever. So I went in the military, came out. The thing that got me was the late 60s and 70s when we were doing Black studies, demanding that schools and colleges open up Black studies. And so that stirred me up. And then Kwanzaa and Nguzo Saba came out. Well, my life got changed. And when the opportunity to join in a movement that was going to start a spiritual community that was liberated from Caucasian treacherous theory, yeah, I'm in that. I didn't know what the elements were, but I've learned, I'm continuing to learn. And I just give thanks and praises for the Wose community, for the power, the spirit of the Most High in our lives. And just thank you all. Thank you all. And as I shared at our 37th anniversary, I was 37 when Wose got started. So we made it to 37. I was only 74 then. And I said, hey, y'all pray with me, pray for me. Maybe I'll be around another 37 years. I'll only be 111. So I say thank you so much. I'm in Rock.
Thank you, Minister Makalisi.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Minister.
Uncle Justin Nev. Baba Jamani, the historical tribute.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up my presentation. I guess I'll pull up my presentation. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the tradition of the ancestors, let me ask for permission from the elders to speak.
Permission to speak.
All right, and thank you, Sister Conky. That was a beautiful tribute to your brother, Mr. Makalisi. That was nice. Okay, okay. Today's historical tribute is on a Reverend Joseph Daniel Jenkins and the Jenkins Orphanage Band. Let me see how I start my slideshow. I hear somebody breathing hard here.
Yes, can everyone please mute? Except for Brother Damani, please.
Okay, Reverend Daniel Jenkins and the Jenkins Orphanage Band. That's today's historical tribute. Reverend Daniel Joseph Jenkins, he was a businessman, a clergyman, a community leader. He was born into slavery in, let me see, I got to memorize this over here. He was born into slavery in 1862 in Barnwell County, South Carolina. And there's very little information on his early life. He was known to have his own lumber company. One day while at the railroad yard checking on some lumber, he looked into a railroad car and saw 4 little boys huddled up. He asked why their parents let them come out in this freezing cold. The boys said they was a bandit, having a family of his own. He had 12 children, matter of fact, 11 from his first wife and 1 from his second wife. And he took the boys home to his wife, fed them, and got them a warm place to sleep. The next day at his new church, New Tabernacle Fourth Baptist Church, where he just became pastor, he started the orphanage. He went to the all-white city council, being shrewd. He told them that he could get all these thieving kids off the street. It was a lot of abandoned kids and homeless kids on the streets of Charleston, South Carolina in the 1890s. He was given $100 and a building. He dedicated the rest of his life raising money and running the orphanage, the school, 100-acre farm, the orphanage newspaper, 5 dormitories, 4 for boys, 1 for girls, and 500 plus kids has lived at the orphanage at the time of his passing in 1937, 5,000 since then. So Jenkins Orphanage Bands. Reverend Jenkins hired 2 musicians to teach the kids to read music and play instruments. He was influenced by the Fifth Jubilee Singers and Booker T. Washington, what he was doing at Tuskegee. And plus Tuskegee had a band also. As many as 5 bands from the orphanage was on tour during the 1920s. Wearing discarded Citadel uniforms, the bands performed throughout the United States, England, Paris, Berlin, Rome, London, Vienna, raising money for the orphanage. Also, the bands participated in the inaugural parades of Presidents Roosevelt and Taft. The bands became wildly popular and world famous. They were said to have invented the dance craze called the Charleston. Known for their syncopation and improvisation, white youth flocked to see the bands, begging their parents about their desire to be in a band. So once again, you got Black youth right out of one generation after slavery, already influencing the culture. Oh, shoot. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the next slide here. Oh man, what this thing doing? Oh boy, I'm trying to go to the next slide. Next. Oh, here you go. Okay, okay, at its essence, this is a story how a simple act of charity and music education, want to focus on music education, would turn out to be the advent of an enterprise with far-reaching social and cultural achievements. It would export Southern jazz to the rest of the world, incubate the talents of some famous African-American musicians, supply vaudeville shows, ragtime in the early jazz era with many talented musicians, singers, dancers, composers, songwriters, etc. And even create a dance step to Charleston, which I mentioned earlier, that would define the Roaring 20s. This is the second building, the Jenkins Orphanage. This is the second building they had in. So in 1893, Reverend Jenkins got permission from the Hospital Association to use the abandoned old Marine Hospital at 20 Franklin Street in Charleston, South Carolina. In 1937, a fire severely damaged the building. They moved to their present day location in North Charleston, which is at 3923 Azalea Drive. Okay, this is putting the story in historical context. This is post-Reconstruction, the dawn of the Harlem Renaissance. Reconstruction ended in 1877. In 1868, South Carolina had largest Black, we had 58% Black population, over 150 Black representatives statewide. Jim Crow laws reduced the number to 0 by the 1890s. At this time, 90 HBCUs was founded between 1861 and 1900. Tuskegee in 1881. Harriet Tubman is still alive. She doesn't passes away till 1913. Sojourner Truth passed away in 1881. Frederick Douglass passed away in 1885. Booker T. Washington is still alive. He doesn't pass away until 1915. I'm gonna skip some of this. Booker T. Washington was born in 1856. Ida B. Wells is on the scene. She was born in 62. Du Bois is on the scene. He was born in 68. Garvey, born in 1887. Marcus Messiah Garvey. He comes to America in 1916. James Weldon Johnson is on the scene. J.A. Rogers, Madam C.J. Walker, Nannie Helen Burroughs, and Granville T. Woods is all on the scene. Plus a lot more people. Historical figure on the right-hand side, these are historical figures on the scene at the same time in the 1920s. And we all know in the 1920s, we had an artistic, a literary, and cultural explosion known as the Harlem Renaissance. This also was a lot going on in New Orleans with Buddy Bolden and Congo Square and Storyville. Anyway, Allen Lockley was on the scene. Claude McKay, Langston Hughes, Zoe Neil Hurston, County Colin, Carter G. Woodson, William Leo Hansberry, Chancellor Williams, George M. James, A. Philip Randolph. The Negro League Baseball starts in 1920. Satchel Paige and George Gibson are their big stars. Entertainers like Louis Armstrong, Buddy Bolden, Duke Ellington, Bill Bojangles, Count Basie, Jelly Roll Morton, Scott Joplin, W.C. Handy. All these people are on the scene. Leadbelly, Blind Lemon Johnson, Ethel Waters, Mom Rainey, Bessie Smith King, Oliver, and Paul Robeson. And a lot of these entertainers started playing music, learn how to read music and play music at an early age. For example, Duke Ellington started playing the piano at 7 years old. By 17, he was a professional musician. Louis Armstrong started at 11 years old. Okay, moving on. The attitude of the day was about the new Negro, a term present in African-American discourse since the 1890s, made popular in the 1920s by Alan Lockley anthology, The New Negro. That was the attitude of the day. Let me explain that a little more in this next slide. The term the new Negro, the term was popularized during the Harlem Renaissance, implying a more outspoken advocacy for dignity and a refusal to submit quietly to the practice and laws of Jim Crow racial segregation. And also at the same time, there was a new Black internationalism was developing. There were Paul Robeson and Du Bois and Henry McNeill Turner reaching out to African leaders around the world. And after World War I, the soldiers coming back home to American hypocrisy of defending democracy abroad. The term New Negro also implied that African Americans would radically defend their interests. Racial pride was at an all-time high. Even though there was a lot of lynchings going on, a cavalry clan was set loose and they was ambushing and lynching a lot of Blacks. The Negro was still digging up his past, the J.A. Rogers and all them on the scene. And so racial pride was at an all-time high. Kids at the orphanage knew they was the first generation to be born free in almost 300 years. They was taught to strive for excellence in all that they do and be the greatest musicians, songwriters, singers, dancers, composers, etc. the world has ever known. This is the UNIA parade, Marcus Garvey and the UNIA parade in Harlem in 1920. In that bottom picture in the bottom right, you got Marcus Garvey in a car. Top right, you got a band. UNIA had a band and choir, and you got the nurses. The nurses of the UNIA is in the white in the bottom left. That was in 1920. That was the racial pride was at an all-time high. Okay, I'm gonna run through a couple of the musicians that went to the orphanage and became pretty famous. There was a whole lot of them, but I can only mention about 5 of them. This is Jabbo Smith. At the end, we're gonna show like a 2-minute video of Minister Imhotep, gonna show a quick 2-minute video of some of his music. Jabbo went into the orphanage. Jabbo Smith went into the orphanage at age 6. By 10 years old, he was touring with the Jenkins Band. By 16, he left the orphanage and became a professional musician, playing with several bands during the vaudeville era, eventually playing with Fats Waller, James P. Johnson. Smith was also billed as a rival to Louis Armstrong. He played all over Europe in the 70s and the 80s. This is Freddie Green. Freddie Green was a swing jazz guitarist who went on to play in Count Basie's band for 50 years. He was also at the orphanage and learned to play music at the orphanage. Also recorded with Duke Ellington, Benny Goodman, and Fats Waller. This is Tom Delaney on the left, and up on the top right is Tommy Benford. Tom Delaney was born in 1889 in Charleston, South Carolina. He was raised at the Jenkins Orphanage, where he learned to read and write music, play the piano, and sing. He went on to become an American blues and jazz songwriter, played piano on the vaudeville circuit. The song and dance duo known as Mitchell and Delaney. That was Tom Delaney. Many of his songs became big hits in Manhattan and Harlem during the roaring 1920s. He wrote songs for Mamie Smith, Ethel Waters, Lucilla Hagman. He traveled the country playing the piano with Ethel Waters as she sang Down Home Blues. Tommy Benford on the right, he's a jazz drummer, and his brother was tuba player Billy Benford. Were both orphans who studied music at the orphanage. He toured England with the school band in 1914. In the 20s, he worked the Green River. He worked with the Green River Minister Show. He recorded with Jelly Roll Morton in 1928 and 30, and also played with Duke Ellington and Fats Waller. This is Arthur Briggs. Arthur Briggs was who studied music at the orphanage but didn't live there. He was a member of one of the marching bands, was known as the Louis Armstrong of Paris. He was also captured by the Nazis in World War II when they invaded France, and he spent time in a Nazi prison camp. Well, he was forced to create a band and entertain his captors. Upon his release, he formed a band and toured America and Europe. And let me see, I got one more slide. I can't see the top of the slide, but this is the benefits of music education and its benefits. I'm gonna read some of this. Listen to music isn't only enjoyable, but it has many therapeutic benefits not commonly recognized in our fast-paced society. Music slows cognitive decline. It helps with improves cognitive capacity in people with Alzheimer's and dementia, helps people overcome depression, anxiety, helps with learning disabilities. Music connects the motor, visual, and auditory cortex. Music helps children to build language skills. You remember A, B, C, D, E, F, G? That's how we learn language through music. It creates executive thinking skills, a complex set of skills that allows a person to utilize conceptually, emotional, logistic, and strategic modes of thinking. Music education can help us close the generational divide. Music is the greatest mood adjuster the world has ever known. Music, if you think about it, music was the axe that broke the frozen sea of American racism. Add dignity to our sorrow. That's what the blues did. Frame and contain what might be unmanageable grief. Music can do what reason and logic can't do. Our ancestors understood this in those cotton fields and prison camps. Music returns us to life, gently nudging us to return to the side of generosity. There's much, much more to the benefits of music. I'll do that in part two. And real fast, 2 minutes, Minister Imhotep is gonna play a short video of a 2-minute video of Jabbo Smith.
I'm always thinking of my Lana, and I wonder if she always thinks of me. To me, she is a blessing, but she always keeps me guessing. She's like a lot of fellas, always going to fortune tellers. I guess to find out what I'm doing. If I mess around, boys, I'm ruined. She's just like Maggie when she get her gin. Fix my head with a rolling pin. That's what she think about me.
All right, that's it. Thank you for listening.
Dancing
Damani, that was excellent.
Thank
Ashe, Ashe, Brother Damani. Excellent.
Spirit of our music.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Looking forward to part two.
Thank you.
All right.
So powerful and complete, Baba. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That took me to New York and back.
Yeah, I know I was rushing through it, but there's a lot to the story.
Beautiful.
Ashe. Thank you, Brother Damani. Asante, Brother Damani, for the historical tribute, and Asante, Mama Akanke, and others for the special presentation for the birthday of our Minister Makalisi. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to have a very brief greeting by Chief Elder Minister J. Henry. And then after we have that, we're going to have a song by the To Be New Cultural Gatherers. So Chief Elder.
Minister Alicia, I don't see him seated at his desk now. So why don't we just go right in with To Be New?
All right.
All right.
So To Be New Cultural Gatherers. And then after that will be the Litany of Sacrifice and Prayer by Mama Angina and Baba Ustadi.
Indeed.
Pleasure to be back again. We want to keep the theme on children today, our youth, our Watotos, and our next selection will be songs dedicated to them. Takia, you want to mention your poem?
Sure. Yes, my medley of poems is entitled Dance Granddaughters. They're with you, here with me. So To Be New Cultural Gatherers would also like to wish Minister Makalisi a very happy, happy, happy birthday. Thank you.
Beauty beyond compare, rain colors in your hair, little sunflower. Your people proud and strong, wise with ancestry law, little sunflower. Sunlight from your father, giving forth the strength of life. Moonlight from your mother, stewing for the milk of life. The world has love for you, though of a different hue, little sunflower.
Dance, granddaughters. Hear the drums. Move your feet. Dance, granddaughters. Hear the music. Feel the beat. Dance, granddaughters. Step out on the floor. Move to the music more and more. Dance, granddaughters. Listen to the count. The drummer creates the rhythm. Dance, granddaughters. Swing your arms. Stretch your feet. Let your body glide. through the air, across the dance floor. Your heartbeat, the drum beat, they both repeat. Connecting, you reach and leap. You dance. You dance. You dance. Dance, granddaughters. Dance, granddaughters. Dance. The poems I write might move you like the ocean moves its waves. But I know what moves you more than even my words before. You are there. I am here. And we are far apart. But remember, my grandsons, you're always in my heart.
Helping Ukraine fight back against Russia, providing some support along the way. We have seen a tone shift from the United States that has really centered on aid, lots more aid, tens of billions of dollars more aid.
Mute, please. Please mute.
U.S. officials really said for Ukraine that the United States is in a build home. That is something
I
that
close my eyes
talked about earlier
and
today.
see you in my dreams. We talk and laugh and play. As silly as it might seem, morning arrives and I awake with a smile upon my face, thinking about the fun we shared in that magical place of dreams.
Brown baby, when you grow up, I want you to drink from the plenty cup. I want you to grow so strong and so tall. I want you to love and respect one and all. Brown baby, brown baby, brown baby, brown baby, brown
Ashe.
Ashe. Thank you. Mama Ngina and Babu Stadi.
Hey, can I come in real quick and just apologize to Tubi New and say that was not, I don't think that was rudeness on any of our parts. That was we got some bleed in from some radio that there's nothing that we can do. That wasn't coming from anybody that's attending our service. That was some crosstalk from a radio station, from radio transmission. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we know with these electronic devices, who knows? They're always listening. They're everywhere all the time. So, but beautiful, beautiful. And I just love when spirit works. When I just happen to call the Teasley youth to do the affirmation, and then our music is about youth too. And when things like that synchronize when you didn't plan them, I call that spirit. I call that spirit. And now, Babu Stadi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. 1, 2, here we go. Save us, oh Holy One, by your name. Vindicate
been
us by your
vindicated tonight.
Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We praise your name, O Amun-Ra, for it is good. For it is good. And the lead is Umoja. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kujichagulia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our communities together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together, we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We should do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited.
Let's say, Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our Creator, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. And now Baba will give us a prayer.
Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, we give thanks for those who have donated their money, their time, their talent to increase the growth of our community we call Wose. We ask for prayers for each member who is with us today on Zoom, and that the divine protect them until we all meet again. I pray that my son Rainier Whaley, Ba, ascend, and that he have a safe transition to the outer world. It's only in your name and in your power that we can be as one. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe, yeah.
All right.
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe. Asante Sana to the new to be new cultural gatherers, and Asante Sana to Mama Engina and Baba Ustadi for the litany of sacrifice and prayer. I'm sure Baba Bill will put up in the chat where you can be able to give your donations. And also, right now, I just want to take some time, take a second. Everyone, please check your mute buttons and make sure your mute is on. Make sure that little slash is going through your microphone, because we're coming up on the message right now. And we want to make sure that we can all hear everything. Aside from things that we cannot control, we want to make sure that we are not the ones interrupting, because we want to hear what all needs to be said, what the Most High is giving us to receive today. Because I am very excited to be able to hear from this minister. We haven't heard from him in a while. We thank him for coming, and I'm going to move out of the way and let Minister Amadi Hines bring down what thus saith the Most High. Minister Amadi.
Hello, family. Hetepu. Peace be unto all of you. Grateful for another opportunity to share with the community. I want to give thanks to some of those who came to support me. My cousin Gordon is here, and some people from my self-development group that I facilitate are here as well as others. So I just want to thank you as well. And I just want to say that I want to tell you that Wosay community has been a godsend for me. It's been a respite for me during some very challenging times. I want to thank you for your prayers for my family, and my wife and daughter are both doing well. I started attending Wosay in April or May of 2020. And what I appreciate about Wosay is that the people here are serious about your spiritual growth, serious about advancing the interests of African people, and serious about teaching the children. It feeds my soul to partake in the spirit that I find here. I like to think that I have a visionary ministry. I seek to read the energy of the times and flow with it. And what I am seeing these days is that Black people are on the move. Like George Jefferson used to say on the Jeffersons, we're moving on up. I see the signs. In the face of the many challenges that Black people are encountering individually and collectively, my job is to tell the people we can do this thing. My personal mission is to encourage others, promote peace, and teach spiritual principles. And my vision for the spiritual community is to create a world that works for everyone by first advancing the interests of African people. History is crying out for balance and for justice. My sermon topic today is find your place, set your pace, then run your race. The race we're all running is within this thing called life. It is how we are playing the game of life. The great Bishop T.D. Jakes once said, it's not the cards that you were dealt that determine whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. He said someone could take your cards, take your hand, and win with it. So I want to encourage you to move from where you are to where you want to be by standing in peace and power and moving with the rhythms of nature. You must find your place, set your pace, then run your race. Finding your place answers the question, how do you make your stand in the world? And how do you show up? Setting your pace answers the question, how do you move in the world? Our ancestors taught that we are co-creators of our experience in partnership with the divine. This is because we partake of the essence of the divine. In other words, we are divine beings having a human experience. I'm going to read from the Hosea, page 6. The creation of Ra Espatah, and I read, thus it came to pass that the heart, mind, and tongue ruled all the other members through the teachings that Ptah, Ra, is within everybody as heart and mind, and within every mouth as tongue, of all divine powers and of all living things. And he thinks as heart and mind and commands as tongue whatever he wishes. This passage tells us that the Creator is within everyone. We have access to divine power. The Bible likewise says that humans are made in the image and likeness of God. We must claim our divine power and move in it. Today, I want to talk about how we can create spiritual solutions to the challenge that we face in life. The thinking that got you into your problem will not get you out of it. You need a spiritual solution. We create spiritual solutions to our problems by looking at our problems from a divine perspective. A divine perspective sees beyond our limiting circumstances to the infinite possibilities and unlimited potential that exists within our divine nature. It is like when you go to the top of a building. You can see much farther and much broader than you can from the ground floor. To create a spiritual solution, you must first create the spiritual conditions for the answer to come. When the conditions are right for something to happen, it will happen without great effort. When the conditions are not right, even great effort will not succeed. A spiritual condition is an atmosphere of love, which to me means connection. Fortunately, we have guidelines to help us establish a loving atmosphere in which all good things can spring forth in our lives. The guidelines are called the principles of Mott: truth, justice, righteousness, propriety, harmony, order, balance, and reciprocity. In short, the principles of Ma'at are about doing good in the world. I call those principles love in action. Practicing the principles is how you prepare the soil. Now you plant the seeds in the soil for your good fortune by focusing your attention on God's idea about your situation, which is an idea bigger than the problem. Direct your thoughts, words, and actions toward what you want, not on what you don't want. Learn to obey the spirit that is within you and not the circumstances that surround you. Martin Luther King Jr. encouraged all of us when he said, and I'm paraphrasing, "I've been to the mountaintop, I've seen the promised land, and we as a people will get there." Well, I see signs that his vision is currently unfolding. In his statement, he was comparing his experience of seeing the promised land for his people with that of Moses and the children of Israel. Our people, when experiencing enslavement, identify deeply with that story. They sang songs like "Deep River," "I'm gonna cross over Jordan into the promised land." And so I want to share a related reading from Howard Thurman's book, The Growing Edge, page 178. I read, Howard Thurman: "No experience, no event at any particular moment in time and space exhausts what life is trying to do. There is always a growing edge. At the time when the slaves in America were without any excuse for hope, and they could see nothing before them but the long, interminable cotton rolls and the fierce sun and the lash of the overseer, what did they do? They declared that God was not through. They said, we cannot be prisoners of this event. We cannot scale down the horizons of our hope and our dreams and our yearnings to the level of the event of our lives." So they lived through their tragic moment until at last they came out on the other side, saluting the fulfillment of their hopes and their faith, which had never been imprisoned by the event itself. In a federal study in the 60s, it was determined that it was our spirituality that allowed Africans to survive enslavement. Our ancestors found a spiritual solution to their problem. They obeyed the spirit within and not the circumstances that surrounded them. They didn't call it Ma'at, but they lived as love in action. They created the loving atmosphere for a spiritual solution, and they kept their eyes on the prize. And there's a spiritual solution for your problem too. We're on a growing edge as a people. We have survived on that growing edge for hundreds of years. We fell from glory during the great Ma'afa of enslavement. And from the 1600s until the Civil War, our people were living under the threat of enslavement. That was one phase of our journey. After the Civil War, they had to deal with slavery by another name, which was called Jim Crow. That period lasted until the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Power movement of the 60s. In 1965, we gained legal freedom with the Voting Rights Act, and the Black Panthers and the US organization brought the political and cultural awareness for self-determination. Then we entered into another phase, which Michelle Alexander called the new Jim Crow, with the emergence of the criminal industrial complex, in which more of us are incarcerated than were enslaved during the period of legal enslavement. Also, collectively and individually, our people are experiencing an increasing wealth gap disparity between European Americans and African Americans. It's growing frighteningly large. We've experienced a lot as a people, and still we rise. We fall down, but we get up. Let us look beyond the limits of our experience to an answer that exists in the mind of the Creator. Our liberation effort is generational. Each generation of our ancestors did their part in resisting enslavement, resisting Jim Crow terrorism, resisting legalized discrimination, and resisting the lie of Black inferiority. Now, our generation must finish the job by generating a systematic effort to move our people to self-determination and self-sufficiency, which involves ownership and control of our resources. I see that as our goal. Amos Wilson said that this can be accomplished by organizing our communities, controlling the finances within our communities, and educating our youth. As a baby boomer, my dream is to see Black people moving forward in a systematic way during my lifetime. I just want to live to see it. We can transform our life conditions and those of our people. The good that you are seeking will happen to you by happening through you. You need a consciousness that says, I can. Every day we must recreate the passion. Every day we must consciously repeat the process of a renewed effort. In the Hosea, page 3, Karanga says, and I'm reading this, the ancient Egyptians viewed creation as a continuous process. The first creation was the first event, the first time. But creation is repeated each day in nature and in human history. In nature, sunrise and the new beginning it brings each day is a reflection of this. In human history, it is reflected in humanity's constant establishment and reestablishment of order and righteousness in the midst of chaos and evil, in a role similar to Ra, the Creator. From the book of Knowing of Creations, translated in the Hosea, page 5, I read, Thus said Ra, the Lord of all, Lord of the utmost limits, after he had come into being, I am the one who comes into being as Kepper and brings being into being. I raise my beings in the primordial waters as inert things. I found no place on which to stand. I formed it from the desire of my heart. I laid the foundation through my art. Many were the beings that came forth from the commands of my mouth. I conceived in my own heart, and there came into being vast numbers of forms of divine beings as forms of offspring from them. So when I say find your place, I'm talking about a place for a mental stance, a mindset, as Ra did in the Kemetic creation stories, which were written thousands of years prior to the biblical creation story. In the creation story, Ra stood on what is called the primordial hill. From that place, he spoke creation into existence. So today I want us to identify our inner Ra, our inner capacity to create, our ability to co-create our experience, and speak and act from that mental place of peace, confidence, and power. We too must create our life experiences upon the foundation of Ma'at. Pace yourself as you build for eternity. Live a self-examined life. Memorize the principles of Ma'at and the virtues of Ma'at. Measure them against the virtues. In other words, apply the principles and then see how the virtues are emerging as your virtuous living. For example, ask yourself, did I demonstrate control of thought and control of action today? Let us establish a consistent place, or rather a consistent pace, in the way we operate in the world. We must be willing to flow with life and dance with the currents that feel like they're going to sweep us away sometimes. Find a level of peace in uncertainty, comfort with being uncomfortable. Establish a balance between possibilities and practicality. Look for a surge of energy, insight, and inspiration, the same way you would look for a second wind as you are struggling to win a race. Ra is a self-created one, which represents the fact that he is self-knowing. To the extent that you know who you are and what you want, you can co-create your life experiences in partnership with the divine. Let us see ourselves as forces of nature, operating with the full intention to witness the manifestation of invisible ideas into physical forms. Rising like the sun, we can't allow ourselves to become stagnant, but must be always ready to ascend to higher heights in our journey. If we want more, we must become better. Like the creative force of Ra, we can emerge from the unceasing waters that often surround us, that bring instability to our life circumstances. And we can find a place to stand from which we can operate in power. We must advance the cause that our ancestors started. Find your place, set your pace, then run your race. When I was listening to Katabazi talking about what Chancellor Williams said, it reminded me of an interview I did with Malidoma Somé. And he told me I was co-hosting Intervisions with Reverend Mary Kara, and he told us that certain people were incarnated into this life to make change. He says they can't sleep until the change happens. They came here for this. They were born. I know that some of you out there are those kind of people. And so we have been given everything we need to transform the conditions of our lives and of our people. Written in the Shabaka text from ancient Nubia, the Creator spoke to his creation and said, Ankh, Uja, Saner, I give you life, strength, and prosperity. You give life, strength, and prosperity. The goal is self-determination and self-sufficiency. So let us march on indeed till victory is won. Ashe.
Ashe.
That was brilliant, Minister.
Ashe,
Brilliant.
Ashe.
Thank you.
Make it plain, make it plain.
Ashe. The spoken word.
Yes. Ashe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asante, Minister Amadi, thank you so much for your message. I have so many notes. Thank you so much. Next, we will have an invitation with Minister Imhotep. Then we will conclude with our Lift Every Voice and Sing by Sister Destiny Muhammad. Asante Sana for letting me be your host today. And for the ancestors that has Imhotep has come in peace. We give thanks for you, ancestors, for being here at this time, at this place. And when you decide, Shem Imhotep, to go in peace, we give thanks for that. So, Minister Imhotep.
Yes, I'd like for us to listen to this song as we extend the invitation to you. This was requested by Mama Ngina, a conversation I had with her this week. So as we listen to this song, we invite you to come and join and be a part of us. What a beautiful message that Minister Amadi gave us today. What was the title? Let me just get that title again. That title was Find Your Place, Set Your Pace, Run Your Race. So we extend the invitation to you. Let us hear this song by Indigo Clan. We extend the invitation to you today. Won't you come?
Indigo Clan, 42 laws. My aunt March, let's get it. I will not do wrong, I will not steal, I will not act with violence, I will not kill, I will not act unjustly, I will not cause pain, I will not waste food, I will not speak in anger. Oh my, I will not sow any seeds of regretfulness. No, oh my, I will not lie. Oh, I will not lie. Oh, I will not desecrate holy places. I will not act gaiefully. I will not lay waste the plowland. I will not defraud temple offerings. I will not commit treason against my ancestors or utter curses or be an aggressor. Oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, harmony. Cosmic law, righteousness, integrity, order, reciprocity, discernment, balance, wisdom, respect. Oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, harmony. Cosmic law, righteousness, integrity, order, reciprocity, discernment, balance, wisdom, respect. Oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, harmony. I will not turn from words of right and truth. I will not pollute myself. I will not mistreat the youth. I will not pollute the earth. I will not commit fraud. I will not cause terror. I will not bear false witness. I will not set my mouth in motion against any person. See, I will not be wrathful or angry except for a just cause. I will not abuse my sexuality and I will not prejudge. I will not be an eavesdropper. I will not speak over much. I will not do evil, be arrogant, too excitable or contentious. Oh my, truth and justice, my oh my, harmony. Cosmic law, righteousness, integrity, order, reciprocity, discernment, balance, wisdom, respect. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, harmony. Cosmic law, righteousness, integrity, order, reciprocity, discernment, balance, wisdom, respect. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, harmony. I will not waste water or plunder the dead. I will not copulate with a woman's husband or a man's wife. I will speak no evil. I will not initiate no quarrel. I will not cause the shedding of tears. I will not blaspheme sacred nature, undifferentiated from the almost high. With my aunt's wings, I will learn to fly. Ma'at, mama, ma'at, madam, ma'at, magic. The etymology roots of all the mathematics. Invoke the wisdom, ma'at, come on, I make it habit. Inhabit by a car, living goddess African. To the inner drilling, do it with integrity. Use these comedic codes to build accountability. Balance your passions and actions so baby you can see all your truths. Know thyself, sovereigntize and get free. Cosmic law, righteousness, integrity, order, reciprocity, discernment, balance, wisdom, respect. Oh my, I treat the justice, my eye. Oh my, I treat the justice, my.
All right. The invitation has been set.
That's it.
Beautiful. The 42 Confessions. Yes.
Trying to stop it. All right.
My aunt does not want to be stopped.
I can't stop my.
Say it again.
I can't stop my.
No, it lives on in all of us. Keep it
All
going.
right. You guys are, you know what? You know what you guys are? You guys are spirit-filled people. You need to stop all that. You need to stop all that. And you know, Minister Amadi, I'm on to you, man. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say that we have the creation in our hands. I know what you're trying to do, man. That was a powerful message today. Give thanks for that message.
Yes,
Give thanks for these people. Give thanks for all of these people. It was a brother that I promised that I would let him say a few words. And Chief Elder Minister Jay Henry, you know, we've gone over time a little bit, but just if you want to just share a few thoughts with us before we dismiss.
Yes, sir. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
May I have permission to speak?
Yes, sir.
I say first, I want to say thank you for our ancestors. I want to say Hotep and blessings and positive energy for healing and spiritual growth and protection around the world. I say. First, give an honor to my brother, Elder Vexus, for inviting me to join in the conversation. I was multitasking. I'm cleaning yard outside, helping my wife fix a chair, getting things preparation for Mother's Day. I said Mother's Day is every day, so I got a whole backyard. I'm doing with my African attire, so you know we gotta do what we gotta do. And so, but I would love to be able to join in as well, because as I listen to what the presentations were, I'm glad that you can record it, that you're recording this, so I can play it back on a rewind and analyze it, and then come back to this tribe, I'll call it, and give you my analysis for a solution on how we should proceed and move forward up under these circumstances. But let me rest assured and let every elder that's on this call here know that our ancestors are very, very well pleased. I heard the drum beats, and even though we are going through these many challenges, there's something greater covered out of this. And as we know that with every ending, there's a new beginning, and we're not going to be going over repeating his story. we finna mark this day and time with a new beginning and grabbing a hold to all of our youth that will be here after we transition and make sure that they had the well-known 42 principles of my art as the foundation. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Ashe.
All right.
And
now-
oh yeah, I'm coming from Georgetown, South Carolina. Thank you.
All right. All right. Give thanks.
I have a question.
Yes.
I might be mistaken, so forgive me if I am. But did I just hear Elder Minister Henry say that he wanted to join our tribe?
Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Yes, I thought I heard that. I thought I heard that. Ashe, beautiful. I would not let you get it by us.
Brother,
I heard that.
Can I say real quick, that brother Henry, I just sent you a private chat asking for your email address. If you give me your email address, I'll add you to the mailing list, and I'll do a follow-up with you.
Okay, great. I would definitely leave you my email address and the best contact information, which is my cell phone.
Okay.
All right.
In the chat for everyone to share.
Yes, yeah, Brother John D.
Welcome. Welcome.
Ashe.
All right. All right, sisters and brothers, it's 12:42, and I know you guys want to get out and to get some fresh air, but we have felt the spirit through the historical tribute. We have felt the spirit through Minister Alicia's guidance through this circle. We felt the spirit as the libation was poured. We felt the spirit of the special presentation to Minister Makalisi. We felt the spirit through To Be New cultural gatherers. We felt the spirit of a wonderful message today from Minister Amadi. What a beautiful message. I'm going to ask Katrina to just give us 2 videos, one of the whole service, but one of just your message, so that we can take it and we can listen to it over and over again. A lot of things that you said in there was so important for us to hear. Okay, sometimes you have to put people on mute. I'm sorry. All right, so Brother Jeff, will you give us our song as we discuss?
If God made anything more beautiful than that, he kept it for himself.
All right. Hey, let's stand now and join. Let's stand. Join our hands.
Okay. We can't see you, but okay.
Okay, you can't see me. Okay. Let's put our hands together. And now to them who is able to lift us up faultlessly before the throne on high. May they empower us to be a people with one aim.
One aim.
One vision.
One vision.
One faith.
One faith.
One destiny.
One destiny.
One love.
One love.
One love.
One love.
God.
One heart.
One heart.
One God.
One God.
Let us call upon the name of that one God, as our ancestors and elders have done for countless generations, for time immemorial. Let us all say together, Amen. In tune, out of tune, you are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth.
That's it.
That's it.